And so basically some background for people is that Ta-Nehisi Coates appeared on CBS to discuss his new book, and the reporter asked him some tough questions on Israel-Palestine, basically what's going on right now. And the CBS reporter, Tony Dukapil, I hope I'm Dukapil, Doukipil, he was reprimanded by CBS. This is the reporter that was asking the questions to Ta-Nehisi Coates. He was reprimanded by CBS for how he conducted himself in the interview, and many people, including people inside of the CBS ecosystem, called for him to be fired. And I knew this before because I saw the headlines before I watched the full video, and then I watched the video and saw your commentary on it, and I couldn't believe that people were calling for him to be fired over this. But I cut out a 2-minute section of the Ta-Nehisi Coates interview. The whole thing is about 8 or 9 minutes long, but I just cut out the 2 minutes towards the end that I thought we could rewatch and give our thoughts on it, just for people who may not have seen it. And this is the last, I believe, 2.5 minutes.
An effort to topple the whole building of it. So I come back to the question, and it's what I struggled with throughout this book. What is it that so particularly offends you about the existence of a Jewish state that is a Jewish safe place and not any of the other states out there?
There's nothing that offends me about a Jewish state. I am offended by the idea of states built on ethnocracy, no matter where they are.
Muslim included.
I would not want a state where any group of people laid down their citizenship rights based on ethnicity. The country of Israel is a state in which half the population exists on one tier of citizenship, and everybody else that's ruled by Israelis exists on another tier, including Palestinian Israeli citizens. The only people that exist on that first tier are Israeli Jews. Why do we support that? Why is that okay? I'm the child of Jim Crow. I'm the child of people that were born into a country where that was exactly the case, of American apartheid. I walk over there and I walk through the occupied territories and I walk down the street in Hebron. And a guy says to me, I can't walk down the street unless I profess my religion. I'm with another pastor. No. I want to. This is very, very important.
It is important. It is
extremely important.
Yeah, let me lay it down.
I'm working with the person that is guiding me is a Palestinian whose father, whose grandfather and grandmother was born in this town. And I have more freedom to walk than he does. He can't ride on certain roads. He can't get water in the same way that Israeli citizens who live less than a mile away from him can.
And why is that okay? Why is that? Why is there no agency in this book for the Palestinians? They exist in your narrative merely as victims of the Israelis, as though they were not offered peace at any juncture, as though they don't have a stake in this as well. What is their role in the lack of a Palestinian
I have a
state?
very, 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 very moral compass about this. And again, perhaps it's because of my ancestry. Either apartheid is right or it's wrong. It's really, really simple. Either what I saw was right or it's wrong. I am, for instance, against the death penalty. What the person did to get the death penalty, it really doesn't matter to me. I don't care if they were selling a nickel bag of marijuana or if they were a serial killer. I am against the death penalty. I am against a state that discriminates against people on the basis of ethnicity. I'm against that. There is nothing the Palestinians could do that would make that okay for me. My book is not based on the hyper-morality
What's the last
of the
message
Palestinian
you want
people.
In lessons, because many people feel it's complicated. You say it's not complicated. Less than 20 seconds. What's your message?
Less than 20 seconds. I want people to read the book.
Well,
And I don't make the assumption that somebody would just read the book and have read nothing else about Israel
Okay.
and Palestine.
You're still invited to High Holidays. I'll see you at the show. I mean
so
it, buddy.
much. That'll do it.
High holidays, yes.
So what are your thoughts when you rewatch this clip at the end?
Do you mean like what are my thoughts with their report, how they talked, or the actual content, what they're saying? Because in my video, I don't discuss what they are actually arguing about. I just discuss that First Amendment rights, and these two journalists have every right to have this type of conversation and no one get reprimanded
Yeah.
or serve consequences.
More in that line, yeah, like with the overall vibe of the video. Because like I said, I watched or I saw some headlines, and then I watched your video, which includes the video in it, and then went to watch the full unedited video on CBS. And based on the headlines, I thought I was about to watch, two guys almost come fist to cuffs, where one guy gets up and starts yelling at the other guy over him and trying to intimidate him. But I didn't see any of that. So I was just curious if rewatching it, you have any different opinions on the vibe or just the whatever tension there was, if it warrants and the reprimands like CBS did towards this reporter.
Not at all. And I was just reminded about the little moment at the end when he was like, no hard feelings, high holidays, they're kidding around, they laugh. When I saw this video, of course, I'm like, "Oh, this is a little comfortable." Thought nothing of it until I got text that, "Oh, your boy was talking with this interviewer, it got a little hot and heavy." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And I wasn't thinking it would be any story headline. And the fact that it became one, I was shocked. And that's why I wanted to do a video because I'm like, where has journalism gotten to where this is seen as not okay to happen? Um, I am just I don't know. I think people it's so weird in this world how, like, divided we are and how hateful we can be, but then at the same vein, we wanna seem so altruistic too. We wanna seem like we just are so high morals and good. It's like, so what is it?
Yeah.
Like, why so you're shocked at this and you're also not shocked at the worst thing we can do in society. So again, I feel the same way. I don't get what other people saw, though I think because I do have friends that disagree with me, I do often engage with people that have different point of views as me. I'm used to that. I have bandwidth for it and I like it. So
Yeah.
when I see it, it was actually just odd to see it on prime time like that, but a type of discussion like that, I watch podcasts with that thing happening all the time, like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
But I think it was just because of who it was, I was kinda like, "Oh," but I did not think anyone would receive any backlash, like,
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought. I thought anyone who listens to podcasts or has seen any debate in the podcast world, this is like a 2 out of 10
this
compared
literally
to
that's
the
them saying
arguments that happen on
hello,
podcasts. Yeah,
an introduction.
if podcast debates are heroin, this is like Advil. It's like
Yeah,
literally like if I watched this clip, I would have not thought that there would be any extra media layered on top of it and other headlines sort of piling onto it because it's literally people being assertive, sharing their opposing points of views. Or it's not even clear that they have opposing point of views. Like the questions were very assertive and the reporter is more trying to dig into what Ta-Nehisi Coates' reason for writing some of the things he did. The reporter didn't necessarily share his full views, which is in line with journalism ethics. It's not
yeah,
necessarily about you. You're trying to dig the story out of the person, and then they laugh and joke at the end
and that should have
about
been
hanging
where it
out.
ends. When
Exactly.
the people there are laughing and they end it that way, that's where it ends. Like,
Yeah.
who are we to be like, "No, there's something wrong here." And also just backstory with, the other reporter, like, um, the energy also is coming from that he has children, in Israel as well, like so it's like he has a tie there. So he wasn't just trying to bait Coach for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, could he have worded things differently? Yes, but he didn't, and Coach stood his ground and did a great job, and that's it. And they're gonna, hang out on Christmas or whatever.